Hey guys, Asher again at Flight Sim Reviews, and today I want to do part 2 of my Rise of Flight review, and specifically focus on the flying portion of this wonderful World War I combat sim. I wanted to go ahead and start in the menus due to the fact that there are quite a few settings you can set to customize your experience in flight. So anyways, let's get started. Of course, you can have icons for friendlies and enemies. They just make them easier to pick out. Navigation, icons, and far objects. That's kind of nice to have on, especially these planes, of course, are flown by compass. There's no VORs here. Anyways, aiming help I leave off. Padlock is a nice feature. You can just stay locked onto your target with your view regardless of what attitude the aircraft's at. Simple gauges I'm just going to leave on for you guys so you can have a better idea of what's going on with the aircraft. And I will point out, I do leave these on sometimes. Solely for the reason all of the aircraft, whether they're French or German or wherever their country of origin is, most of it's in metric, and a lot of the altitudes, etc., are in old units of measurement. So the simple gauges are in current measurements, so it makes it a little easier to figure out what altitude you're at and speed, etc. Of course, you have a simplifications tab, which is basically flight physics, wind, unlimited fuel, unlimited ammo, no engine overflow, and a warmed up engine to start. Actually, if you're just taking off in the sim, it takes a little bit of time to get the engine warmed up. If you throttle it up too early, it will just crap out on you. So it's nice to start with a warmed up engine. The mission I'll be doing, just to show you the flight portion, we're already in the air, so of course it's already warmed up. Anyways, easy piloting. If you're a newer flight simmer, I'd recommend that. I'd recommend auto rudder and cruise control. That helps maintain your speed. Autopilot, I don't use it, but why not leave it on just in case you have to fly a long ways and you have to go get yourself another soda or something on the trip. Anyways, automatic RPM limiter. I use these just you can damage the engine. The mixture, I don't have it mapped to my stick. I just leave it on automatic. Radiator, that's something you don't see in a lot of flight sims. What they're getting at here is like your cow flaps would be more a similar thing. Most of these planes have an ability to control the engine cooling. I just leave them on automatic because when you're dogfighting, you sometimes you just have to be adjusting them all the time, or the engine's getting too hot, etc. So I just leave it on. And automatic engine start. I don't usually use that, but since we're just doing a quick mission, it's turned on. So anyways, let's get started. Alrighty guys, now that we're in the cockpit, I just want to show you the game always starts in a pause state, so you can get your hands on the controls, etc. So all you gotta do is push P, and the sim will unpause. So anyways guys, now that we're in the sim, I just want to give you a look around the aircraft. It really is just a wonderful looking aircraft, airframe. Everything in the sim is very well done, from the little details like the throttle lever and the linkages to your compass being down there, your RPM there on the tail, fuel, your magneto switches, your clock, and even the little second hand moves on that. Your airspeed, your altitude, and it's like an old altimeter. It's pretty amazing. Just all the original things, your button to fire your guns, just amazing that this game has all this down to such a science. Also, if you look over on the wing, you can actually see the linkages moving the ailerons and such. So the game also has two manners to look around. You can either use your mouse, or you can use, of course, your hat switch or whatever you map it to. I personally prefer the hat switch, but one nice thing about the mouse is if you do just reach over and right click on your mouse, you have just a ton of options that you can change in the game. You can change whether you have instruments, you can tell your wingmen different commands, all sorts of things like that. So you don't have to, if you don't have a joystick with just a ton of buttons on it, you've got a more entry-level joystick, nothing wrong with that. It's just so you don't have to remember so many keyboard commands. I wish more sims had this little overlay so you could get at some of the quick menu options faster. So anyways, let me roll her over here and show you some of the countryside. I'll go fly down by that town. You know, even the marker ribbon here for my flight here, you know, it's even blowing in the wind. You know, the game just has such realism. I'm gonna go ahead and arm the guns there. If you saw, they actually cycle there. The bolt actually brings around into the chamber. You can do that if the guns jam. The guns will jam at high G, or sometimes you'll just get a bad round. You can clear it. There's actually an airfield right there. You can probably see through the windshield. A lot of the airplanes are pretty amazing, as they also will have, you know, like fuel gauges in the wings and stuff. This is a SPAD, of course, so it's a little different. It has a lot more instrumentation than some of the aircraft that are in the sim. I just want to show you down on the ground. I did mention previously you can change the skin on your aircraft to your liking. So here you can see, you know, the church is out there. There's railroad tracks in this town and a train station. I'll go ahead and give you an external view. So you guys can just see this game just has some incredible graphics. Especially like the wing, you know, the light reflecting off the wings right there. You know, a little bit of light bloom. Stuff of that nature. The game just looks really great. There is a flyby view, of course. So anyways, let's there's a train over here that's an enemy train. Let me go. Let's fly over here real quick if we can and see if we can't strafe the train a little bit. Of course, I did leave the markers on, so there's the enemy flight of bombers. I can go ahead and tell my wingmen to deal with them. Actually, the bombers don't have a target, so they're just kind of orbiting over the city here. Let me fly over this way. But as you can just see, the attention to detail, guys, is amazing. I mean, even like the light from the sun catching on the fabric on the wings. You know, it's really one of those sims you have to fly to realize how good it looks, because it does blow your mind. Also, these planes, they don't have trim, because this is long before trim wheels and such. So, you know, if you're carrying a lot of airspeed, you're going to have to give it a lot of forward pressure on the stick. If you're going slow, you're going to have to give it quite a bit of back pressure. You know, which is all pretty standard for flying an aircraft. So the train should be right around here somewhere. Let's see if I can't find it. Let me get some altitude here. There's a farm down there. Let me see if I can't find this train for you guys. This is why I mark things on my map, because if you don't, you know, have an idea of where the stuff goes, you can fly a 2-hour-long mission and never have seen your target. So let me prime the guns here. And there's the train. I'm a little high. The game does allow you to zoom in on the crosshair. One of the things you'll also see is the bullets actually bounce up. They actually ricochet off the ground, which is pretty accurate. So you know, the bullets will actually skip back into the air. That's a really nice touch there. And you can see that now the front of the train is leaking some steam there, so I must have done a little bit of damage to the boiler. Let me turn around for one more pass here. Of course, this game has a lot more than attacking trains and vehicles and things. There's a lot of dogfighting, guys. I just wanted to show you some flying and that sort of thing. The dogfighting is the AI is really good. Even if you've done a lot of dogfighting sims, I think this one will surprise you. I've done a lot of sims, a lot of combat sims, and I was certainly surprised in getting shot down as easily as I did. So it's certainly not a slouch in the AA department. Also, the bullets have dropped, so now I don't know if you guys can see that, but the steam engine now has a couple of holes in it. You can see the steam like venting out the side of it. So I mean, you know, the attention to detail is just amazing. You know, you're not just strafing, you know, some random target and eventually it explodes. I mean, you can actually see the consequences of what you're doing. Let me come back here for another pass. I'm kind of high. And of course, those are the bullet trails from the bullets skipping back up into the air. And you do have to look out for the trees. Let me tell you, the trees will kill you quicker than anything else in this game. And if you're kind of a flight simulation physics buff or something like that, High stress on the wings will do exactly what you think it will. It will rip the wings off. If I was to take it through a really high G maneuver, you can rip the wings right off these aircraft. So there's no hidden realism here. It's all there. Actually, the train will continue to slow down until you blow it up. So anyways, guys, I hope this gave you a good look at the flight portion of Rise of Flight. As you can see now, the actual locomotive has stopped on the tracks due to too much damage. So just, it's just really fun to have kind of reactive targets like that, guys, where, you do enough damage and it actually comes to a halt. Just, I think a lot of the combat sims, it's just instantly an explosion and it disappears, So anyways, we'll do one final strafing run on the train. So anyways, that train is toast. That won't be taking the Germans any more supplies during this combat, time, or World War I. So anyways, the train is toast. Mission complete. Rise of Flight is awesome, guys. I can't really give it enough praise. I definitely grew up with World War I sims on an IBM PS2. Oh, now actually the fire is spread to the further rear fuel cars, which is pretty slick. If you're like me and you grew up with Red Baron, Blue Max, and those kind of games, even if you didn't, guys, I mean, this is definitely worthy of your money. And as I said previously, 777 Studios, guys, it's just fantastic. They are a cut above in the flight simulator developer arena. They just really care about the community. I can't state that enough. I mean, they'll literally send emails out. Hey, we're doing our best. We're getting these aircraft out for you guys. Please continue to support us. They're really in touch with the community. They're not just, hey, let's make some money off the flight simmers and disappear and never support the product. I would almost compare this to like an online multiplayer game, simply due to the fact that, like an MMO, because it is just constantly supported, guys. It's just, you just can't ask for more with, Rise of Flight. Rise of Flight easily earns 5 out of 5 wings from Flight Sim Reviews, and also takes our Top Choice Award. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, and feel free to comment. Thanks again, guys. I hope you stay tuned for more Flight Sim Reviews.